All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, considering our review series, and the main event 3. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's get into this, man. This is a big step towards WrestleMania 6. This was May, okay. February 23rd, 1990 from Detroit, Michigan.
Live.
Live, yes. This was the third main event they've done. The first two hadn't disappointed us, so why would this one? And the two matches that they aired was Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage for the title and Ultimate Warrior versus Dino Bravo. Before we get into that, these were the matches that they had prior to these two televised matches that were dark matches. Earthquake had defeated Rugged Ronnie Garvin. Dusty Rhodes defeated Mr. Perfect. Ted DiBiase beat Jake the Snake Roberts. For the tag team titles, the Colossal Connection beat Demolition. They were already champions. This wasn't the championship title change. Bad News Brown beat Tito Santana. Gee, go figure. Tito lost the match. Rick Martel versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Rick Martel won that one. And Roddy Piper wrestled Rick Rude to a double disqualification. This was all leading up to the matches that they televised.
A good card for the people that were in attendance. They got to see all this. Pretty good card.
I actually wanted to see this.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see some of those matches.
This could have been like we had talked about if they did the monthly pay-per-views. This could have been it.
Yeah.
Honestly, for February of 1990, This could have been their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So our opening match was for the WWE Championship. Hulk Hogan, in his words, facing the Macho King Randy Savage for the final time. Yeah, right. Go to WCW. And the special guest referee was James Buster Douglas, and it was supposed to be Iron Mike Tyson, but he lost the title.
Yeah, that was a huge backstory. So they had promoted that Mike Tyson was going to be the special guest referee. They had worked hard to get him, and Tyson was a big WWF fan, so he wanted to do it. Unfortunately, he goes to Tokyo, and the biggest upset in the history of sports, definitely the biggest upset in the history of boxing. Definitely. He loses. Apparently, they still wanted him to do it. WWF still wanted him to do it, but I guess Tyson's management. I'm not sure if Tyson himself felt like doing it. I know his management basically like canceled it, so they had to go into a last-minute scramble. Bruce Pritchard was trying to scramble Vince and everybody, and they tracked down Buster Douglas, I believe, on his way back from Tokyo. They got him at the airport, and they basically convinced him and his manager that it was a good idea to do it, which it was, to give him a lot of even more exposure that he already had from beating Tyson. So that's what happened with that. I like the promos beforehand, like even before it started, like right before they cut to Jesse, they have Buster Douglas's manager telling him like this is gonna be just like the fight with Tyson. He's coaching him up or whatever, and that was pretty cool. I do like the promo with the Macho Man. How Macho Man was saying that he found out that Tyson's grandmother was a Hulkamaniac, and so
yeah,
he wouldn't have been able to
he would have been biased towards Hogan. Yeah,
Hogan cut a good promo too, So saying they had similarities, him and Buster Douglas believing in God and stuff like that, but that he better call it down the middle, otherwise Hulkamania's gonna run wild on him too. So that was good stuff to set it up.
Buster Douglas, not that he looked nervous during this, but
probably was. He'd never done anything like that in his life.
Yeah, he looked out of sorts as far as what he was doing.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny when he ejected Sensational Sherry from ringside, told her to get out of there. The fans actually gave him a good. That was actually the first good pop he got. And he's the outside referee in this one. Dave Hebner is the referee in the inside. Yeah. So he's more like a special enforcer, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I liked the match between the two. I just thought it didn't have the same flair, no pun intended, as it did like when they fought at WrestleMania 5.
Well, it was supposed to be, and it was also supposed to be their final matchup. That's what Hogan was saying. This is probably
he would never face Savage again.
Right. And he was the Macho King. He was the Macho King, Randy Savage. So a little bit different. It's Macho Man, but it's the Macho King. So I mean, I thought it was fine for what it was.
I was kind of hoping they brought up the Mega Powers in their interviews in this. Savage maybe saying, "I haven't forgotten what you did."
Yeah.
Just bring a little bit of the past into this.
It was almost like Macho King was a new character to a degree, the way they did it. Yeah, it would have been nice, but was what it was.
I mean, like I said, the match wasn't bad. It ran just a little over 9 minutes. It's funny because during actually, I'm sorry, ran 11 minutes. Hebner gets knocked down during
Yeah.
this
Hmm.
naturally, and Hogan gets the pin, and Buster Douglas is the one that counts the three.
Hmm.
And there's a kind of a discrepancy in this. It could go either way. Some people may sway towards it or not. That Savage got his shoulder up
Yeah.
before Buster counted the
It was
three.
very close. It was very
Yes.
close.
So that you can make the argument that he counted the three
Mhm.
or Savage got his shoulder up. But what was funny was the antics to follow. Hogan standing there in the corner. Savage is running his mouth on Buster Douglas, and then starts doing a little boxing juke in there and stuff, which I thought was funny because it's not
Yeah, it was
normally what
good.
Savage would do.
Yeah.
And so Hogan's finally telling him, because Savage looks at him. Hogan's like, "Well, just do it already. Quit talking." So finally, Hogan can't take it anymore. He pushes him into it.
He
Buster
had already, yeah.
misses the first shot badly.
He should as
Gets the
soon as he
count.
got as soon as he slapped him, he should have knocked him out right then and there. I don't know why he
Exactly.
waited for Hogan to push him into him. But the first punch he did you have to understand the backstory of this. Buster didn't want to hurt him. And they had
Yeah, that's
talked
true.
about this backstage, and Macho Man was like, "No, hit me for real. I want you to really knock me out." And he's like, he didn't want to do it. So when he does hit him the first time, he was really, really holding back. He didn't want to hurt him. And you
Yeah.
can see Macho Man basically kind of like grab him and tell him, "Hit me again." And then he throws the second punch, which
Yeah.
connected a little bit, and then he goes down. That's what happened. That was the backstory. Buster didn't
Okay.
want to hurt him. That's why
Well, I
he was
don't
being.
blame him because he's a professional boxer.
Yeah, and
This is his life. I
he's
mean,
not an actor. He's not trained to throw fake punches. He's
and if
trained
you
to
hit
throw.
Savage the wrong way, you break his jaw. He's out.
Yeah, but apparently Macho Man was all for it. But I thought
Uh,
it
he,
was
well, he,
fine.
he was into it.
I thought it came out good. I wish he would just hit him once and went down though, because it kind of took away in a
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
Like Buster Douglas shouldn't have to hit him, but I
But
understood why. Macho Man really wanted it to look real. He really wanted it to look good. So it was fine.
and then of course Hogan posing with Douglas and all
Yeah,
this
that
stuff. And
Cole Hogan must pose. I like how Jesse was saying, "Oh, basically like it was like a setup. The quick count and everything. That it was bogus."
Jesse's always going to find
Yeah,
something
he
on
was great.
Hogan.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
finally,
he said it was a sucker punch. He said that Buster Douglas sucker punched
second
him.
punch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So this finally now closes the book on the Hogan Savage feud, where they've been talking during this match. They were talking about WrestleMania, the
yeah.
Ultimate Challenge and stuff. It's already been signed, and so we're heading to Toronto with this one. Now, after the match, Ventura interviewed Bravo and
Yeah,
Earthquake. How Bravo said that he was going to be the Intercontinental Champion going
right.
into, and
WrestleMania. Yeah.
I
Oh,
always
it's not.
thought that they should have dropped. I get the title for title thing, even though Hogan was never going to be Intercontinental
Mhm.
Champion. I thought maybe they should have just dropped the title off of Warrior, knowing that he's going into the main event, and it wouldn't have been so obvious. Because even back then, I looked at this and I knew, okay, Warrior's beating Hogan because I can't see Hogan carrying the Intercontinental Championship.
No, but
What's
they
the
couldn't.
point?
They couldn't have Warrior drop the title. Warrior needed all that momentum going in there that you can't have him lose and then he fights for the world title
Yeah,
because then
that's true. Because yeah, if he loses his streak now, it's
yeah,
pointless.
yeah, yeah.
You know? So Bravo now is facing Ultimate Warrior for the Intercontinental Championship. Earthquake and
But
Jimmy Hart at ringside.
I like the promo the Warrior cut though. He was
Oh,
like
the
because
both
they
of
had
them
said
that
that
he cut that night.
yeah because they had said Bravo was I guess like it was Jimmy Hart or Earthquake. I don't know. They were talking about earthquake insurance, and the
Yeah,
Warrior said, "I don't need life insurance. I don't need earthquake insurance." Warrior was fired up, man.
oh my God, this promo and then the one he cut later on Hulk
Later on,
Hogan. Of course, he says his name like 30 times.
right.
But these were priceless. I actually rewound it to listen to the promo again that he's giving on Earthquake and Bravo. It was just unbelievable.
He
This
ran out
guy
to the ring.
gave a lot of good promos that you had to actually listen to him to know what he was talking about.
Well, it was just true to the character. We
Hmm.
love Warrior because he was like a comic book come to life.
Exactly. Yes.
So I like how he ran to the ring. He just threw the belt. Like he was still running and he just throws
Yeah.
the belt aside
Like
as
let's
if
get down to business
yeah.
here. I love the fact that he goes under the ring during this match, and
Oh yeah.
Earthquake's even like, where is he? Next thing you know, you see Jimmy Hart getting sucked under,
Hmm.
and Jimmy Hart comes out with no pants. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, Warrior to do. This was a 4 minute match. This was really fast. Warrior gets the pin on this one, but it wasn't so much the match that it was the aftermath that we were looking at because again, the road to WrestleMania came through here, and as Earthquake and Bravo are beating him down, Hogan comes down, and this is actually the first meeting now, the first altercation between Hogan and Earthquake before the Brother Love show.
Well, I mean, Earthquake was gonna, squash him.
He was going off the
They
top
had,
rope.
yeah, they had jumped him after the match, and
Hmm.
Earthquake was about to jump off the top rope, and then Hogan comes down to save him. I like how Jesse was saying, "Oh, look at him hogging the spotlight again. He took the Warrior spotlight."
Well, remember what Hogan said in his interview. He was going to make sure nothing happened to
Yeah,
Warrior, so
yeah,
that there would be no excuse going into WrestleMania. So
yeah,
if something like this was going to happen, I'm going to come down and bail you out.
yeah.
And so Warrior didn't like it. He's getting into his face, and Hogan's looking at
Mhm.
him, brother. They were gonna. He's like, "You're gonna
Yeah.
squash you."
Warrior said, "I don't need your help."
Yep.
So I don't
But
need your
then,
help.
but then leading to WrestleMania on Superstars, we saw it where he came
Yeah, I
down to
know.
help Hogan too.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
it was good back and forth through
I
this
thought,
the next 2 months. It was awesome.
going back just a couple, the minute or whatever it was when Hogan punched Earthquake, I thought Earthquake was gonna kill himself when he falls
When he falls out of the ring,
because he
yeah.
like he hits the apron first, right? He hits
Hmm.
the apron
He hit
first.
the
And
side of the apron, and
I
then
thought
he
he was
fell.
gonna go straight down. Like that would have been a bad day. But this was good,
So,
just to see him go toe to toe. The referee in the middle of them, whatever. I think it was dangerous, Danny Davis, right? Was it
yes,
Danny Davis? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
This was a great lead up
yeah,
after the
it's
match.
just continuing the story. I mean, we didn't mention it, but the prior Saturday night's main event
Hmm.
was when Warrior and Hogan teamed up against Genius and Perfect. Warrior accidentally clotheslines Hogan, then they go face to face. Now they're like, oh, they kind of like, that's it's continuing to build this. It started at the Royal Rumble and it's continuing through here.
Yeah. And so now, after the fact, they interviewed the Warrior, and he's in his locker room, and you see all the stuff behind him.
The Warrior symbols
Yeah, which was really cool. And I
and the
love when,
merchandise.
yeah, oh, you gotta have that.
Yeah,
I just love it when he goes Hulk
yeah, I
Hogan.
love the way you say Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
He said it like I had to be
yeah.
about 30 times
He
during
said
the
Hogan
promo.
will fall too. He said Hogan will fall. Yeah.
Yep. And at this point, when I'm watching this as a kid, I'm like, maybe this is gonna happen.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, there's no way you can get a winner between these two because they're just
Right, you don't know
two
what's gonna
big
happen.
monsters. It's
Hmm.
just this was like the greatest WrestleMania match since WrestleMania 3. So the promos were great in this one. The main event was pretty good. Again, we closed the book on the Savage
Yeah.
feud. Now we're looking forward to April 1st in Toronto.
Yeah,
So
Warrior had referred to himself as the chosen one.
yeah, so
We're chosen to defeat,
yeah, calm
Hogan.
down, Jeff.
Yeah, Hogan. He's the Warrior was the real chosen one.
Real chosen
Uh,
one, yes.
Hogan was talking about the Hulkamaniacs. They asked him, could lightning strike twice?
Twice,
And
and he said yes, it
he
can.
said he saw what I guess he said something paraphrasing here about the earth shook, that power he had never felt before the war. This is really great stuff.
It is and of course we've done the review on WrestleMania 6, and the match itself was just amazing.
Yeah,
Never to be duplicated, or never should be duplicated again,
right.
because you'll never get it exact how this happened,
Right.
and we know what in history what happens later on, but whatever. So otherwise, main event 3 was pretty good, leading to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was a good setup.
Hmm.
All right, so you guys make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.